Hi folks, welcome to Mike on Monday on Wednesday, and of course it's on Wednesday because on Monday we were at home, playing at home at last. God, it seems like forever we had to wait for that at the London Stadium where we took on the mighty Huddersfield Town. And Tuesday I was recovering from said evening of drunkenness, and today here we are doing this. So we'll start then with Monday's game. Monday's game, well, we won. We won, and it was a great feeling to finally win an actual game of football. This is a programme for Monday's game. I'm loving it. On the front here, we've got a picture of Chicharito looking mean and moody, and it says here, Chicharito, the making of a marksman. And inside here, it's got a nice little bit. Javier Chicharito Hernandez was born to score goals. Great. So we played him as a left-sided inside forward. So that's great. Makes perfect sense, that does, Slaven. Let's spend forever waiting on trying to buy a really good poacher goal scorer and then shove him out wide on the left. It's a bit like saving up for years and years for the Ferrari you've always wanted and then just using it to go get the shop once a week from Lidl. What's the point? It can do that, and he could do that, but really, what is the point? We also kept a clean sheet, which proved to be the answer to the riddle, how many West Ham centre-halves does it take to mark one Huddersfield striker? Turned out to be 3. Even Font looked pretty good, playing as 3-man marking one player. But well done there. I do actually think, I mean sarcastic, I do actually think we look much better and much more secure with 3 at the back. Which and we played a sort of 3-4-3 system. Antonio playing inside forward on the right, which is fine. He's good at that. And Chicharito, I'll stop going on about it. I really will. Last week also saw the first open cracks really appear between Slaven, Bilic and the board. I suspect those cracks have been there for a long time, but this is the first time they really opened up. The board totally undermining Bilic in much the same way they did Steve Bruce when he was at Birmingham. Slaven Bilic acting in his usual dignified way because he's a really nice guy. It did remind me a bit of like when a distant posh aunt comes to visit you in your estate and gets harassed by scroats with bulldogs, in that way that they're slightly above it all but can't help acknowledging it exists. But that's the Dildo Brothers for you, really. They're not classy, and Bilic is a classy guy. Our board further embarrassed themselves with that ridiculous spat with Sporting Lisbon and the leaked email. I love the leaked part, like they didn't put it out themselves. It's supposed to prove that they really did want to, and they really did make an offer for what's his name, Carvalho, and that they had made that an offer of some money, which actually really made things worse because the bid, what, 25 million, was ridiculous. It showed they had no intention of genuinely buying the player that Bilic really wants.
Voy a la playa, había subido la marea. Había subido la marea con su paella. Y la encontré.
The other notable thing, there were no real demonstrations against the board at Monday's game, apart from one hilarious inflated penis which was floating around the crowd. Excellent, well done whoever thought of that. The thing is though, ultimately the board have really embarrassed themselves over this whole affair, and they are genuinely really embarrassing. They really make us look like a total mess as a club. The club are always the supporters, not necessarily the owners, but we have got a couple of issues here. The board are both the owner, and the Sullivan specifically is the sporting director of the club as well. It's a bit like when your doddery old geography teacher at school was made to teach PE as well. It's completely ridiculous. It just doesn't really work for us. But it makes protests a bit pointless. I mean, we can't really start singing "sack the board" because they are the board. They're not going to sack themselves. There's more chance of this Tory government paying firemen and policemen properly than them actually sacking themselves as the board. Having said that, singing employer sporting director, employer sporting director, and employer sporting director doesn't really have the same ring to it. So I can't really see how we're going to get around this other than starting to apply pressure on things like online blogs and blogs and stuff like that, because that does actually make some kind of difference. It does. Don't be fooled. They do watch this stuff. Hi guys. They do watch it. So if they're watching this, guys, it's not, you can turn this around by one, spending some of the money you've clearly got, and two, actually behaving with a bit of decorum and modesty. I know Slaven Bilic is a deeply flawed manager on the tactical side, but as a person, he's a really good guy, conducts himself well. Here's a thought, why not get him to be sporting director? Bring in another manager to work under him. Someone who knows tactics. Just an idea. Anyway guys, that's it for me this week. Next week I'll be back on Monday. If you've liked this video, please do like it below. If you disagree with me and want to comment, add to the comments. And best of all, make sure you subscribe. Until then, come on you Irons. See you soon.